Hello YouTube, Dogfoot9 here, and welcome to another episode of the Arsenal Career Mode. And obviously in this series we're trying to win a trophy with Arsenal, and by doing that we need to get some new players in. And in this episode the window is going to be opening. So I'm going to be buying a couple of players. Obviously I'm a bit further ahead than what you're seeing at the moment. So if you have got any players you want me to try and pick up, who may be young or maybe quite good and they're quite low on pricing and stuff like that, then please tell me who you want me to pick up. Also tell me who you want me to sell. I might have already sold them because, I might not like them myself. There's a few players in this team who I don't like. You can probably tell by the way I talk about them. But I'm going to be making a couple of changes. I've made a couple of changes to the defence already, and a couple of changes to the attack, which you guys will probably like, as I've got rid of a few players, and also got the team a bit stronger. So in today's episode, we've got quite a few. Well, we've got 3 games in total, normally about 3 or 4. But in this first game, it was quite an action-packed game against West Ham, and that's why I've shown you quite a few of the highlights. There's quite a few of the goals are quite nice, or we've got a big build-up play, or it's just showing you how I actually managed to get through West Ham, because West Ham were playing absolutely brilliantly in this game, even though they had 2 of their really good key players injured. Now, first of all, Coquelin sliding all over the floor like I don't know why or anything like that, but Nabry with a failure of a shot, who then crosses it brilliantly into Adrian, who heads it for some reason somehow past the defender. I didn't know that Adrian was actually quite that good at heading, but he has actually got some decent heading stats. He's got a really quite good jumping. He's a bit small, but his jumping does make up for it. Now on the break here, we've got Podolski on the ball, doing a nice bit of dribbling, gets tackled, but then a bit of pressure from both Adrian and Podolski gets us through onto goal. And Podolski with a shot there, should have maybe put a bit more power into it and aimed for the corner a bit more. But still, their defenders, they decide to just play with the ball a bit in the midfield, in their own half, and Coquelin doing something actually quite useful this time, and gets it through to Giroud, and Giroud puts it into a corner with his head, and at that point we are dominating the game practically. And I didn't expect West Ham to really get back from this 2-goal deficit, but they do. They push through with McCarthy there, I think it is. I mean, Carroll with a header which just misses, but Carroll with a right-footed volley into the corner there somehow gets past Chesney, even though it was a bit of a P-roller. It somehow got past him, and a terrible pass there allows West Ham to break away a bit. A nice bit of build-up play here, and a brilliant pass down the wing, and Nolan just gets it back across, and they head it into an open net. That is one of the most simplest goals ever. I don't know why Chesney came out. I probably told him to come out a bit, but I didn't want him to come out that far. I wanted him to go back into his net after he'd applied a bit of pressure, but he didn't seem to. He seemed a bit slow back into the net. But at this point we were 2-2, and a nice bit of dribbling here from Podolski gets us through on goal, and Podolski doesn't miss that time, and that's 3-2. And West Ham aren't going to come back from that, and we've practically finished the game off. We've got no time left to build up an attack, and we win 3-2. So it adds to our points, 3 points on the board, which is really good for us, and I don't know what happened there, and it improves our goal difference as well. So we're just preparing for our next match here, and as you can see, it did take quite a bit out of the squad. The squad were quite tired after that game, and also with these games being quite close to each other, we had to put on kind of a reserve team. It wasn't really our strongest players. We did have still quite some really strong defenders helping us out of the back, but our attack was quite inexperienced. I decided to put Theo Walcott as a striker, as he's quite pacey, and I didn't think Afobe really fitted that role unless he was being subbed on, because I think he's a better right midfielder than he is striker. So I normally play him there, and I decided to put Walcott up front as he's been playing quite well in that position in real life. So I decided to try him there, and a bit of work from Afobe here, gets it to Walcott, passes it to Muriel, and Muriel with a shot, but unfortunately it misses, and unfortunately again for us, Santi Cazorla is injured. Now that injury does actually take him out for 3 months, and it also means we had to use one of our subs really early on and bring on Podolski, who doesn't really have the best fitness, so it gave us kind of gave us a bit of a disadvantage. But a nice bit of work here from Walcott, and puts it away, and he puts it away on the edge of the box there. I must say Walcott's shot from outside the box is quite good, and also is very good at putting it into the top corner, as you'll probably see from some of these clips in the upcoming episodes. But anyway, it doesn't matter about what Walcott, it matters about Vermaelen, who gets a 2-goal lead for us there. And at this point we were really bossing it against Newcastle. Except from this, I don't know why I did that. I passed across my own box, and that's normally a major downfall. And that puts Sissoko, I think that is, well, gets Newcastle back a goal, and that's something we didn't really want. We wanted Chesney to get a clean sheet, as his morale and form isn't, well, his morale's alright, but his form is poor at the moment. So I wanted to get him a bit higher in the form area, because he's been letting in quite a few silly goals, even though some of them have been my fault slightly. And as you can see, the transfer window has opened, and we're going to be making a couple of putting up a couple of bids in. You won't see anyone really get signed in this episode, but as you can see, Podolski is already getting offers, and I didn't really want to sell him yet, so I decided to send teams back, like with 20 million offers, counter offers and stuff like that, and I decided to accept the Russian job, as it's the biggest team I've been offered. And as you can see, I tried to buy Asamoah here, and quite a few other teams were trying to buy players from Syria and also players who are developing. As you saw there, Lewandowski is being targeted by Spurs, and that might be a bit of a bad signing, because we have got, if we do manage to sign him, we have got Spurs a bit later on this month in the Capital One Cup, so he might be quite a big influence if Spurs manage to get him. And as you can see there, Mertesacker, I often Mertesacker Sacco, as I haven't really liked using Mertesacker, and he's getting a bit old now, and probably trading him for Sacco would bring a bit of youth into the squad and also a bit of quality. He's quite a good defender in this game. And we are preparing for another game here. As you can see, Cavani a bit injured there. Everyone seems to be injured at the moment. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's not a long-term effect on the team. Hopefully it'll just be as short-term as possible. And hopefully we won't collapse mid-season like so many teams seem to be doing in this day and age. And we get a game against Southampton here, and they don't really have many players injured, unlike us, who got 2 of our top people out on injury. But we do get a nice breakaway here. Jude on the ball. Jude hasn't really been playing too well recently, but he did get us a goal against West Ham, so I decided to play him again. And Walcott with a brilliant shot into the top corner gets us another goal. That's 2 goals in 2 games, which is really good for him, saying he's not a natural striker, supposedly, but I really like playing at him as a striker, even though he's normally a right wing. But a nice bit of work here from Adrian, and Adrian is the same as Walcott, getting 2 goals in 2 games, and Adrian, he's been a brilliant signing for us, and hopefully we won't have to get rid of him anytime soon, as the end of the episode is here now. So until next time guys, subscribe for more videos, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like.